I'll go look at you.
You're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Hello out there. It is April 15th and you're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast. This evening we're here with 4 out of 5 of our starting roster. Tyrell is out this week, so he will be back next week in full force. But for now, we have Josh, Fred, and Mitch, and myself, Alex. How's it going, guys?
Groovy.
Fantastic. It's good.
Lovely. So, we have a ton of stuff, as usual, coming down the content conveyor belt pipeline. But the thing that came out recently was Mitch's Another Beefcake of a Cracked at Pack video, which was the 2020-2021 Tops series. No, sorry, not Tops. Upper Deck Series 2.
Wish it was Tops.
Upper Deck Series 2. Is that it?
Yeah. Upper Deck 2021 Upper Deck Series 2 hockey.
So, Mitch, you want to give us a little summary, maybe a nugget or two?
It wasn't amazing, but looking back on it after I opened it, I did do a little bit better actually than I thought I did.
Right.
There was a couple young guns there that I didn't realize at the time were having better seasons than I thought, and the value was a bit more.
Right. And
there was one pretty cool pull there that myself was pretty rare, and I was happy with. So overall, but looking back on it during the video, I probably don't show it, but looking back on it after, I am a little bit happier with the result.
It's always good, and I've been in that boat before where, especially like finding my old cards, seeing some of the rookies that weren't even like that highly touted as a prospect, and you look back and find something cool. That's always cool. But that actually happened with me. One I didn't realize was, and because I used to, before I got into the like really big into it, and I was hobby card, like going down to the hobby shop, I would just buy cards from Walmart. Yeah. And you could actually do that, and people weren't assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's another topic.
I think a whole podcast on that.
Yeah. But there was I went through my cards again, like after kind of collecting them, stuff like that, and it was probably about a year or so after Elias Pettersson's thing. But I realized I had Elias Pettersson's young gun, which was nice, a pretty good one, and I ended up having like 2 Nico Heishers I didn't even realize at the time. Very nice. I knew I had one, but I had 2. Now that one's not panning out as well, but we'll see.
Still time. There's still time for him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get better, man.
I think he's had a very injury riddled season this year, hasn't he?
Yeah. And it's just the fact that he's on the Devils, like they're a really bad team, but he's still been a good player.
I think he's gonna end up being a very reliable 2-way forward, but once he settles in, he's not gonna be a superstar, but he's gonna be a quiet, reliable kind of guy. They named him captain, right?
Yeah.
Did they?
That was weird.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I think they named him captain this year, weirdly enough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Secret, sneaky good cards all over the CDPs. So
it's just like...
Yeah.
One thing that's exciting that's coming down to look out for was our group TJT NFT break. That was a lot of fun. That was
pretty fun.
That was a ton of fun. And Josh special guested on that, but...
I just hung out, man.
I'm looking forward to Mitch seeing the break. It was a lot of fun.
That's really cool. Did you guys get any polls you're really happy with?
I got a banger.
Did you?
Oh man,
a banger. A banger is the right word.
I know.
Oh, wait, okay.
Another word that starts with B.
You're like, oh.
I know where this is going.
Banger.
You guys are so clever.
And another thing,
Packy cracked a boner.
Just quickly, I'll release the the CDP of the Cool Cats pack that I got today. Me and Tyrell managed to get in on a drop today. And I'll just mention, Tyrell got a LaMelo. It's a base set LaMelo, but
nice.
Lowest ask was 67 or something like that, 67 US dollars.
That's rising out more.
Yeah, and I got...
It'll be technically rookie, right? Still?
Yeah.
I mean, this is still his rookie year, so...
Yep, so that moment has badges on it, so it's like minted in his rookie season. And yeah, so it's
so sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet.
Good for him.
Really good pull. I'm happy for him. And I managed to get, my pack was real poo, but except for the very last one, I got a new capped Chris Paul. I was like, oh,
nice.
Thank God. And the serial number was 490, so like really low.
That's nice.
Way to keep it G-rated there.
Wait, what?
It was really poo.
Oh, yes. Hey, man, poo is a solid word.
Get a poopy pack.
Or sometimes a soft word. Depends on your diet.
Oh, God.
All right, the first topic of this week on this G-rated podcast is Lamarcus Aldridge has retired today, very abruptly, and this kind of just came out of nowhere. I'll just say, I mean, he just recently got picked up by the Nets in the buyout market. Okay. We talked about it, I think, maybe last week. Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't last week, it was the week before.
Okay. And, but yeah, we had a discussion about it. Like, I said I was underrating him, and I was saying, like, I apologize because he's putting up some stats. But, yeah, he's out because of irregular heartbeats.
Okay. I was going to ask that. Games. I was like, I wasn't sure what the reasoning was, like, if there was any, or if he just, like, bailed. Like,
nope. Irregular heartbeat is what sidelined him in the 76ers game, and apparently he's experienced it before.
How old is he?
He's been in the league, I think it's 17 seasons, so he's been around for quite a while.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Yeah, all right, that's not so bad then. That might have been something that he might have tried to figure out and get some professional help if he was younger.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
No, I'll say, but I think at this point in his career, he's like, no, this is not worth it, not the risk. Shag it.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat surprised for two reasons. No, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a real health concern, but like he ended his career with 19,951 points. It's like, dude, you're so close to that 20K.
Literally 49 points.
Tough.
And plus,
that shows the points don't matter to him. Right?
Yeah, which is awesome. And the other thing, dude, like the Nets were pretty like not guaranteed championship, but holy crap. Like
pretty close to it.
Like it really says something if he's like, okay, I'm out, because he's genuinely
concerned for his health. Like he must have been told. And you know what? Too, it could have something also to do with like COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and COVID going around, because like if you have like existing health conditions like that, like if you were to get it, it could be a death sentence almost, right?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yep.
So I'm gonna list out some of his career achievements here now. He's a 7-time All-Star. That's a lot. Five-time All-NBA. The Blazers' all-time rebound leader. And only Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James have more 2-point field goals out of the active players in the league. So
nice.
That's pretty crazy. That's not the spicy stat or the steamy stat, but like honestly, that could be, because that's pretty wild.
Hall of Famer.
I don't think he has. He doesn't have a champ. I think if he had championships, maybe he doesn't have a championship, does he?
No. Maybe just outside Hall of Famer, right?
Just on the cusp.
How much did he play in the playoffs over his career, Alex?
The Blazers got in, but like they because I think he was a big part of. Obviously a big part of like the early Dame years with Portland Trailblazers, and the thing is, I mean, this could say something. Maybe he is a surefire Hall of Famer, because they usually set the mark at the 20,000 point mark.
Oh,
it's
really?
Like they'll look at that. not like strictly, but everyone says like that's a good gauge. But it's like, hey man, you're just outside it. Sorry.
And you know what? Because his career was kind of cut short because of a health condition, like he would have.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be an exception. We'll see.
And one other thing I wanted to bring up about this was Me and Tyrell have mentioned Stephen A. previously on the podcast, and we consumed a lot of First Take in our days. And a couple of days ago, Stephen A. went off on, to be honest, it's a subject that that frustrates a lot of people, is players sitting during big nationally televised games, like All-Stars sitting.
Yeah.
And he was mad at KD, because KD just came back off an injury, scored 30 plus for sure. Don't know the exact total. I apologize, but coming off a really good game, and he chirped him for not playing on a nationally televised game. And Kyrie was rumored to be out, so he was hard on him as well. Kyrie's the one guy that doesn't get a pass. Like he's I don't care. He does not get a pass for me, and for what that matters. But anyways, and he also mentioned Aldridge and Griffin. He was like, all these guys sitting that want to be on a nationally televised game. But of course now he's coming under fire because, he's out for legitimate reasons. And people are saying maybe you shouldn't jump to conclusions so quickly when players sit for a game or two, especially with a condensed schedule, right? So it's opened up a bit of a conversation about it. And that's a topic that made people mad, but...
I think this is not even the first year that load management has kind of been a thing that's a little bit controversial. Like I remember that being somewhat of a thing when Kawhi was in Toronto, like that year, and because it was around the same time that LeBron was doing it a bunch, and like he was getting chirped a lot about it as well.
Yeah, LeBron. Go ahead.
I could see why. Like you even think about it in the sense too, like. You're an athlete. We don't see it so much now because there's no fans. Well, I guess there is in the NBA again, but like you go to a building, right, to play in another city or whatever, right? Like those fans that buy those tickets may be going to see like LeBron James play. Yep. You know what I mean? So I can see why it could be a bit of a frustration for people to be like, well, that's what I wanted to see. That's like spending the money on an Oilers game, being like, I want to see Connor McDavid, and then him being like, no, I'm taking the night off.
Yeah,
coming to Ottawa, right?
Yeah, and the thing that frustrated him, it almost like stacks on top of that, is just because it's nationally televised, right? And as a fan purchasing those tickets, you'd be like, okay, this TV games. It's usually when guys want to perform. So if you're sitting, and especially if it's a competitive game, because that was Nets and Sixers. So that's a big deal, and he was hard on the Nets, but Kyrie ended up playing, and really unfortunate news about Aldridge, but hell of a career.
Yeah, just to circle back too on that sitting situation too with the national television, I can see where Stephen A. Smith is, especially from a TV guy, where he's coming from. I mean, you want to continue to grow the game, and you want to put your talent and put your your revenue. Grow your revenue. You grow your revenue through your superstars, and your superstars are sitting on during your main stage platform circuit. I mean, it's gonna hurt you. You want to have your top stuff there. So I mean, it's missed opportunity just from a league perspective. I can see that if is Adam Sterling, right?
Adam Silver,
right? Who's Adam Sterling?
I don't know. It definitely sounds familiar, though.
So familiar. I'm just making names up in my head.
Someone's going to search it up. It's going to be like a porn star.
Scott Sterling.
Scott Sterling!
He did it again!
But yeah, I can even see that annoying him, just because, you want to grow and market the league, and then that takes away from it.
Yeah. That's a good point you made about him being, literally the face of ESPN at this point. Yeah. So definitely a good point of him like working with the television side of things.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'll say plus he's an arsehole, so he's gonna be say arsehole takes anyways.
I was gonna say as a side note, and I'm actually really excited about this with the new TV deal for the NHL being with ESPN. And Stephen A. Smith already doing like by the 10 things I know about hockey.
Did you watch that? It was really good.
It's fun. It's funny, but you're gonna have some of the worst friggin' takes on the sport you've ever heard in your entire life come from that man.
I can't remember who posted it. I think it might have been Tyrell, but he was very. He showed a lot of humility with that. With that top 5 or top 10, Steven's A list, I think is what he calls it.
Yeah.
But it's basically him saying he doesn't know shit about hockey. So
it's time that I know something about hockey.
I can't remember some of the things, but it's worth a watch for sure. It's a really good video. So next up we have, going to the NHL, Jack Eichel missing the remainder of the season due to a herniated disc in his neck. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
That's from carrying the team.
That's what it is. It's from carrying
So
the team.
I wanna just read out the best Instagram like I saw the news, and then the top Instagram comment that was there is, yeah, playing for Buffalo can be a real pain in the neck.
Oh.
It's probably a mild injury, and he just popped himself down the stairs, so he would have to play the rest of the
Now,
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask you guys, I want to field the question. Do you think, well, two things, I guess. Do you think this was maybe not such a, because it wasn't an in-game thing, right? I don't think.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it
it's
was.
been for a while. I
It
thought
was?
he's had this issue for a while. Like he's been
Yeah.
injured and out for a while, hasn't he?
Okay.
Yeah, he's been on and off. I think he has been nursing something on and off, and
Mhm.
you could tell. Well, the whole team's been playing like crap, but you can tell Jack Eichel's just been.
I don't
Like-
think he's in any rush to come back.
Yeah,
No,
so
no,
is,
no.
this is what I was going to ask you. Do you guys think this is his sign saying like, all right, I'm done with this season. Let's just call it a day and get
I think
get
done-
healthy.
I think
He's
it's a
done with
sign
this-
saying that's what I was gonna say.
Say he's done with his team.
Sit down
Yeah.
with the franchise. Yeah,
You're
I think
really
everyone's
words
done
on
with the
that.
Sabres. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone should be
That-
done with the Sabres at this
I
point.
feel so bad for Jack Eichel, man. Like,
Such a talent.
it's such
I-
a talent, and you can tell. You can tell at this point it's actually affecting his play and his mentality at this
So-
point.
I don't. I'm gonna segue a little bit, but this is still kind of ragging on the Sabres. Even even Elliot Friedman from Sportsnet confirmed this, right? But apparently there was a trade on the table, that Paul Murray trade from Lou Lamoriello, the one that he offered the first round pick and the prospect.
Oh right, yeah,
was-
yeah, yeah.
That was on the table for Taylor Hall, and Kevin Adams pretty much snuffed at it, saying like I could do better.
Oh really?
And then he
Oh.
couldn't. Yeah, and he turned it down and couldn't do better.
I think
man, it's like,
now. I think Taylor Hall probably had a bit of an issue too. I think Taylor Hall has a no trade clause or something too,
he
Definitely.
has,
and he
but
he limited
so-
them. I think he limited them pretty heavily because the way he was talking, like Boston, it was like Boston or pretty much next to no one.
Friedman mentioned that though too.
Why did he
He
want to
said-
go to Boston so bad? Huh?
Because
Well, I think
Taylor
that was
Hall
his only
makes
option
shit
at the end.
decisions.
Yeah.
That was-
well.
I think that was his only option at the end, because I think it was on the table to go to New York, and I think he would have taken that if Kevin Adams would have. Because what Friedman alluded to, he was pretty much saying like that opportunity was there, and he was interested in playing. Like he would have been interested in playing for a team like that, because like they're first in their division, right? But then because that was shot down, the price went down because no one else. And they were saying that leading up to it, right? There was no more bidders. Like it was a buyer's market already. Once Lou Lamoriello spent his first round pick, the Leafs weren't even interested. Like
Yeah.
they already knew they wanted Foligno, so like there was no one looking. So Boston swooped in and was like, here's scraps.
Yeah,
Have some scraps. Yeah, what else are you gonna get?
exactly. I think too now. I say Jack Eichel gets traded in the off season now.
I think
He's
so.
probably gonna force their hand,
All right.
but I think it'll work out in his favor with Seattle coming in, because you have Seattle taking away parts of teams, so you have spots and cap space opening that way. But I think just the way Jack Eichel's contract is and the type of player is, and the trade it'll take to get him, it's an off season type of deal that will move Jack Eichel.
Yeah,
Take
I
and move
agree.
him.
That's
And
why
he-
I'm not. That's why I'm gonna keep him in my fantasy keepers. Just
Yeah.
leave him on the IR just to see what happens.
Oh
So
yeah,
are you actually keeping them?
Yeah, I'm keeping him on my IR for now.
Yeah,
if he
I-
goes to another
absolutely.
team, I will totally keep him as a keeper.
sure he might end up on something like you said, the Rangers, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I don't know, God only knows where. So I mean,
Could be anywhere, man. You never
Well,
know. He
lit-
could end up on Vegas somehow, and you're like, how did he
Exactly.
on
Yeah.
Vegas?
Yeah.
So
So-
this is something that, like, it's funny because when you search up and when you read about him in the news, it's a lot of that Boston talk, because like you said, Josh, like a trade fell through a year ago or something like that. There was mutual interest and the trade fell through.
That's for what, Jack Eichel?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. What was that? Like, what's that from?
I'm pretty sure
What's
there
the
was
source on that?
sports that said that last offseason Taylor Hall and Boston had mutual interest, but a deal didn't happen.
Oh, Taylor Hall.
So Taylor
Okay.
Hall was a free agent.
My
He
bad.
was a free agent last summer.
My bad. I'm messing
That's
up
all
the
it was.
answer.
But like he was a free agent last summer, and he kind of got screwed having to play for Buffalo because I think there was interest, but I don't think Boston was lining up to give him a big deal, right?
No, Taylor Hall followed the money.
Yeah, he followed the money there with Buffalo. He took the 1-year deal with $8 million on a try me, like a prove it.
Yeah,
And worked out
didn't work
great.
out well.
But with
it
Eichel,
was so
do you,
weird. Buffalo came out of nowhere.
He's the worst. He's not even that good.
Mhm.
He's really not.
with Eichel, do you
Everyone
think
can be all
he's
over that call train.
you think he's ready to? So he's going to force the management's hands to move him elsewhere. Do you have any
For
destination?
Eichel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point he's got to for his career's sake because I think his career is actually being hurt now staying in Buffalo.
Oh, 100%.
What
Like, on the worst
what are some
team,
destinations that you see him going to?
Rangers is the first one, I think.
Yeah, I think
I-
Rangers is a strong possibility because they're just still a growing team. They could shore it up the middle. I could almost see someone. Maybe I don't actually no. I want to say Vancouver, but I don't want to say Flame. I don't see him wanting to go to the Flames, but I think the Flames definitely need to shake up and
Here's
could
something
use them.
juicy. Here's something juicy. Are you ready?
Drop
Heard
the
it right
juice.
here.
Here's what I think could happen because I don't know, like I could just see it happening. So the Columbus Blue Jackets
Oh yeah,
have 3 first-round picks
yeah.
going into the offseason. I
Yeah,
can
good
totally see them making a big push to try to get Jack Eichel.
Well, yeah, they have the pieces there for it.
Oh, they have the pieces there, and they're already like they have a decent team. They need a star like that. But imagine Jack Eichel playing with Patrick Laine.
I think the first thing the Jackets need to do though is fire Tortorella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
They're
He's ruining
so-
Laine.
They're so done over.
He's-
I think the
Ruining
players are
Laine.
done with him. I think the players he's lost the players at this point now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
I love his
charades.
mentality. His coaching mentality is flawless. I love
Yeah.
it.
I
Hard
do
work,
enjoy
back
it.
check, blah blah blah. But
I do like it, and I think he's a smart hockey mind. The problem is his coaching style and the way he gets on
Yeah.
wears thin after a while, especially when you start to lose.
And-
Yeah.
You lose the room quicker with the way he
I even
coaches.
and I think it's also
agree.
generational. I think it's generational. Like I think
Yeah.
his coaching style is going to be less effective as time goes on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
You're
like
right.
with the younger generations, like they're less susceptible to that. They need more of like, you know, that not the general, like the military general mentality. It needs to be more of like, you know,
Yeah.
the team, like, you know,
maybe if it's an Olympic
be
team,
motivated.
sure you
Yeah.
can do it that way.
Yeah,
But
that's why Babcock I don't think will ever be a successful coach in the NHL again.
Here's one last thing I wanted to ask about Eichel. With the injury that he sidelined from, do you think is it an injury that affects any potential trade value, or are they just like, no, this is 100% you're sitting because you're done with the season?
so
No, I think it's I don't think he's any rush to get back. He doesn't want to make anything worse than it is.
Right.
But I don't know. I think more than anything they just don't care, and they're probably at this point in tank mode again. So I said they're not going to rush him back. He doesn't give a shit,
Right.
and he wants to make sure he's healthy, and can prove he's healthy for possibly another team. But I'll be 1,000% shocked if Jack Eichel is still a Sabre by the time next season rolls around.
Gotcha. And was it him that you said had the no trade clause though, or was it
That was Taylor Hall.
that was Taylor Hall? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
gotcha.
Jack Eichel might, because he signed a hefty contract as well.
10 mil for 8 years.
Yeah, so
Woo.
there might be some clauses in there as well, but I think he's at the point now where he'll pretty much go anywhere but Buffalo. So,
Gotcha.
Oh man, I think so. He needs to.
Let's get it moving. All right, let's go to the first segment of the day.
That stat is steamy. The steamy stat.
So this week we have a steamy stat from the NHL that I saw the past week, and I thought it was kind of cool. All right, so Alex Ovechkin has 40 plus goals in 6 franchises. Now I'm gonna make this a little fun for you guys. Only 3 other players have scored 40 plus against more. Any guesses?
Only
Yeah.
6 players.
So the stat is 40 plus goals against 6 franchises. Who
Oh,
has
wow.
done that against more franchises? There's 3 players.
Lemieux.
Gretzky.
Josh
And
got one.
Mike
Lemieux's not
Bossy.
one?
No, surprisingly not.
Really?
Is it-
Yager.
Nope.
Was it Bossy?
Mike Bossy.
No.
Ooh,
Timu
so-
Solani.
Brett Hall.
Do you want me to tell you?
No, wait, no, we need to figure this out. Don't ruin it.
Us hockey
okay,
minds, we
so
should know this.
It's 3,
Not
right,
the-
Alex?
It's
Mark
3,
Messier.
yeah. So
Okay.
you got
Messier.
one in
Gretzky.
the great one.
Which is actually, I'm kind of surprised. He's more of an assist guy, but I guess he does a lot of
Oh,
goals
but
too.
Yeah,
he's got
yes.
the most goals of all time.
Now he's the lowest
Gordie
out of the
Howe.
ones that are above him. He's at 7 franchises, but no, not Gordie Howe.
No, not Gordie Howe.
No.
Rocket Richard, Maurice Rocket Richard.
No, see, I'm not even sure if you guys like
Are these
my hockey
old-ass
knowledge.
players?
See, that's
This
the
is gotta be
thing.
an
My
old-
hockey
this is
knowledge. One name sounds familiar to me. So,
Okay.
do you want me to?
Yeah, just we're
Give us a team. Give us a team. Come
Buzz
on.
I don't know the
Milligan.
team. I don't know the
Damn
team.
it.
Buzz flip it.
No, it's Buzz Chocolate.
Buzz shock.
All right, so it's Phil Esposito.
Oh,
okay.
fuck, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
That's
Yeah,
the name
I-
that was familiar to me.
I
And
am surprised, yeah.
Marcel Dion.
Dion.
Okay.
Marcel
I
Dion.
should have known these.
Marcel Dion is one of those guys that was like really great player, but you never think of him when you're trying to name all time great players.
It's funny, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
a Barkov of today.
What era is
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. He would have been the 90s or
Oh,
80s,
okay.
90s?
What?
70s,
Dion?
80s,
No,
wasn't it?
70s. Because
Yeah.
he played on the Kings when he had the purple
He was
and fucking yellow
so it was
jersey.
Yeah.
70s, 80s.
Okay, right on. Yeah, Phil Esposito, 10 franchises. Marcel Dion, 8. The Gretz with 7. So that's the steamy stat of the week. I thought it was pretty cool.
Love it. That was good.
That one, that's a great one.
Thank you. Next we go back to the NBA with another shitty
I have a
topic.
steamy stat.
Oh, okay. You
have
go
a
right
steamy
ahead.
stat.
You go right ahead.
I have a
Yeah.
steamy stat.
Yeah, and we could talk about it a little bit. This will be fun. But 2 games. This is my steamy stat.
Okay.
2 games. This player is 2 games away from, and it's an NHL one, from being the all-time games played leader of all time
Wow.
Pick me.
in today's day and age, and that's pretty huge. Like in the NHL now,
I'm
Like-
ignorant, but is it Chara?
it's not
No.
Chara. Patrick Marlowe is 2 games away from passing Gordie Howe.
Wow. That's
That
a
is
that's
sick.
a healthy boy.
That's what I mean. This guy must have played every season and never had an injury.
That's like James Harden numbers.
Yeah.
Now,
And-
just
ahead.
to put an asterisk next to that, just to kind of not to really shut. Just because Gordie because that's the NHL record. Gordie Howe did play WHA for a while too.
yeah,
So
Gordie Howe also played until he was like past 50.
Gordie
Yeah.
Howe
So-
played with 3 of his friggin' sons.
Yeah.
Wait, so Yager doesn't have that?
Well, he
No.
played in the K forever.
Yeah.
Ah,
You're
right.
screwed over-
Okay, yes,
screwed
yes.
off to Europe for a while.
I forgot
But
about that.
you got to give it to Patrick Marlowe, and this goes into my next kind of little my segue to like talking about the Hall of Fame. Do you think he's going to get inducted into the Hall of Fame? Do you think he's borderline? Do you think Patrick Marlowe goes to the Hall of Fame?
It's so hard. Like he's
If
made
he-
it to the playoffs a million
I
times.
I think if he had a cup, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one day, but
Where is he on the all-time scoring leaders?
He's in.
I just
I don't
don't
even-
think
Top
all-time
100
games
maybe?
played is
He's in
enough
top
for to
100.
make a Hall of Fame.
That's
He
what I
has
mean.
a lot of
He has-
points though. He's a 1,000-point player, right?
Yeah, he's a 1,000-point player.
Maybe. I mean, you combine that with all-time played, and I mean, why not? I think.
You talking about all-time points?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Marlowe's 50.
See, that's pretty good. You're top 50.
Yeah. I don't. He's
Impressive.
not. I don't think he's going to be a first ballot guy.
Yeah, no, he
But-
definitely won't be a first
I think
ballot.
you think you give him a couple years chilling there, and he gets
Maybe like an Aldridge.
Yeah.
It
Takes a little while, and
It
maybe he
depends on
finally
the
gets in.
class too. It depends on the class too.
Mhm.
If it's a weaker class, yeah, I think he
Mhm.
definitely gets more looks. So
That's the thing. Yeah, it's. I guess it's really similar because it's like the guys have been in the league for a while and respectable numbers, just no championships. Yeah.
Well, Josh, you've probably seen this where you shows how respected Marlowe is too, because when he was leaving the Kings game, they didn't know if they get to play him again. Almost, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They came over to him and like shook his hand. Everyone was
Nice.
like, "Hey, man,
I think-
congrats!"
Yeah,
No?
they're all thinking that this is his last year. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna hit that. He's passing Gordie Howe all times games and then
And-
done.
yeah.
Nice.
yeah, I can't see anyone giving him like picking him up for another kick in the can because I just don't think he has it in him anymore.
No.
Like he tried it with the Leafs, and it's just, I mean,
And he had it with the Leafs for one of the years.
yes, for one of the years, but you can tell it's
done
faded. So he went
after
back to
that.
San Jose, I think, just to kind of give his final hurrah.
Yeah.
And I mean, San Jose is not on the cusp of making anything anytime soon. So
No.
I think he retires, like you said, after the season.
Yeah.
I
So
think so.
bringing us to the second part of the show, we got another NBA topic, which was it's another shitty topic. I hate like bombarding the pod with shitty topics, but it's worth a mention. Canadian boy Jamal Murray has suffered an ACL injury and will be sidelined for the season. So
This sucks, man.
it's really awful. When I saw this, like, it's one of those things, man. Like I'm a Rockets fan, but I cheer for every Canadian in the league. And Jamal Murray, off the top of my head, might be the best Canadian in the league. I think.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's just an incredible player, like incredible scorer, and just the best 1-2 punch ever. Him and Jokic. So
Yeah,
it's such a bummer.
It's such a bummer from an NBA fan standpoint, and then for Nuggets, the Nuggets as a
I was
team.
gonna say
man,
that team as well.
that team
deserve better.
is not a superstar like a Brooklyn Nets or a Lakers team, but they have good players there, and Jamal is a key player to that team, and it's it's going to be a spot I don't think you can fill with bench guys or anything like that. Anyone you have there, so
No, he was their primary ball handler. Well, actually, like it's funny, Jokic, he could be considered their primary ball handler, even though he's like big and chunky. But it's such a shameful injury. Definitely their number 2 option. But yeah, without their point guard who scored 50 points twice in last season's first round playoff series against the Utah Jazz. 50 points twice. He was because they
Clutch.
he coined a nickname. People said like Bubble Murray, just like playoff Rondo. Bubble Murray is like something special.
Hey, he was amazing in the bubble, man.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
crazy.
it was awesome. It was great basketball from him. It just sucks, and it's that Nuggets just brought in Gordon. And it looked like that filled the niche that they really needed to really make a well-rounded team.
Yeah,
and that's a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, and they were doing super well. That was just a trade that worked out really well for them, and sure enough, they get this shitty news. Who knows, like what'll happen, what their record will be, like how consistent they'll be without him. But losing him is a big deal. And the worst thing is, it was with 50.6 seconds remaining.
It's the worst. They could have just took him out. And
It's
just
the
let him
worst.
rest or whatever.
And it was
such an innocent play, though.
And it was a 116-107 loss to the Warriors, and like it was just him trying to make a play, like that much time left, just him trying. I think it was a layup,
I thought he was just going with the ball. I can't even remember now. I'm trying to picture it in my head. I thought he was just going up the court with the ball.
I think he planted for a layup, and
yes, you're right.
It was right under the basket, and they had to
right.
mute the basket mic because he was like in absolute agony. So scary stuff. So the point, Murray averaged 21.2 points, 4.8 assists, and 4 rebounds while shooting 47.7% from the field this season. So, yeah,
solid numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Canadian boy, just really sucks to see him go down. Gotta say. Let's move on to the next part of the pod. Actually, anything else you guys want to say about that before we move on?
It's too depressing.
It's poopy.
It's poopy bum.
So now we're going to move on to the next part of the podcast, which is kind of a big deal. Got to be honest.
Guess what just happened?
What is that?
The NHL Trade Deadline has just concluded. What are the big pluses and minuses of the trade deadline?
I just picture like at the finish line like a slug. Just
I just picture it with James Duthie's face on it.
yeah. James Duthie.
Kill me.
In the corner, just like rocking back and forth. Where's more trades?
So
More trades,
I guess
yeah.
I'm gonna field a couple questions here to you guys.
Okay.
You guys are all great hockey minds, and I'm gonna poke each of you with some questions. So we'll start off with Fred.
Okay.
Who gets the biggest A+? Who gets the biggest passing grade? There might not be anything special, but who gets the biggest passing grade in this trade deadline?
There's
Okay.
two, in my opinion.
Okay, so it's a tie.
And they come from the same trade.
Okay.
So in one end, I think Toronto fucking nailed it with what they needed. They've grown with getting Nick Foligno. He's a captain on a team of captains.
Another one.
It's
Wow.
disgusting.
Nice.
If they don't win, I honestly think Colorado, Vegas, these teams never really did anything because they don't need to. But Toronto are always pushing. Dubas is so pushing. And I think their team is better from it.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, Columbus came out with 2 first-rounders. They came out with a 4th, a 5th. I don't even remember what else they came
They're
out with.
stocked up now.
They came,
for the
yeah.
next couple
So
years.
they're in full rebuild, but they also got Line A. You know, they have pieces, but they obviously have a lot to do. But in the coming years, they're going to look really good. So that, in my opinion, I think that was the
Good
winners.
stuff. Good stuff.
There's just to add on to that. There's also rumor that because Foligno's final year of his contract. There's rumor that he's probably just going to flip right back and resign
Right back to Columbus.
next year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's a
for
free
sure.
agent. They're like, I think Toronto's intention was honestly like they targeted exactly what they wanted and they just paid what they needed to get it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Like there's history with the Foligno family.
Yeah, he's an old man, right?
The last time, like his old man Mike Foligno, who wore the best helmet in hockey, by the way. He played for the Leafs in the '93 run. So that was the last, like he like Foligno, even right after he got traded, like all the interviews he did with like local Toronto radio, just kind of talking about that and how excited he was. Like he chose, like he also had a no trade clause. Like he chose Toronto, like as an opportunity. He's like, I can win a cup.
Yeah,
possibly.
I think it's the right call. It's the perfect fit. It's what Toronto
It's a good
needs.
fit. It's a really
I
good fit.
think he fits in there, so I think it's the perfect trade.
he's not
And
gonna
Leafs
score, like-
Leafs are in win mode. They don't need those picks right now. They
Yeah.
need players right now.
And Toronto fans drive me insane. They're like, oh, that's not good asset management. Get the fuck out of
I
here. You
hate
can win a
it.
cup. You can win
So-
a cup. Shut your mouth.
Fred, I'm with you so much, man. It drives me crazy because like asset management was a thing to do when you were rebuilding.
Yeah.
Right now,
You're
asset
rebuilt.
management is like,
Yeah.
you know what? Spend your assets. You have a window. This is
Yeah.
it right now. Like, it drives me crazy too because to think that you might ever have a better team.
This is the best team
than
in
you do
Toronto
now.
history.
Like, this is I've never like, and Toronto's been around for over 100 years. Like, this team has been around for over 100 years. You go back, like, there's never been players to the caliber of like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. Like Austin Matthews is gonna, by the end of his career,
a
is gonna be the
freak.
best player
Yeah.
that's ever played in hockey.
He's a video game character.
Yeah, he is. Like, I never get sick of watching him play. Like, it's amazing every shift. Like, it's so good. It's like it's probably the same for you with like McKinnon, Mitch, but you've also been spoiled with like Forsberg and Sakic.
Yeah, Forsberg was just friggin' nuts. Like,
But like,
there's-
it's
just
crazy. Like,
nuts.
I think about like Matt Sundin playing, right?
Yeah.
And or watching like old games like Wendell Clark. Like Wendell Clark's great too, like different kind of player too. Wendell Clark and Doug Gilmour, but
yeah.
Austin Matthews is just different.
Oh,
Like it's
way
insane.
higher.
Like every time he has the puck, there's a chance that he's gonna score. Like
Yeah. Oh well, I think in my opinion, he already has, and he just got to continue doing it. It's just gonna change it. He already has one of the best wrist shots in league history.
yeah.
yeah. And a mustache is like
Even better.
Oh,
Even
Poppy.
better.
Poppy.
Poppy. He's Poppy. But like he's like it's the craziest thing. Like, and even right now, like he's leading. I think he's 8 goals up on the scoring lead. And
Oh,
he's
more. I think
he's
it's higher than that.
He's missed 6 or 7
No,
games.
it's not that high, but he's around 32, 33. I know
33
that.
goals and missed games. Like, that's nuts.
He's
He's
missed 6
so
games.
good.
Wow.
And he's actually sitting tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
and
playing.
he's
No,
sitting
there you
tonight,
go.
and he'll still
Yeah.
score 3 goals tomorrow.
Yeah.
So who cares? Or the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, like because Rantanen's trying to chase him, but even the Colorado commentators are like they're trying to try for dramatic effect, and then when the commentators are like, yeah, no, Austin Matthews got it.
yeah.
Let's go to the next question. I'm going to field to Josh. Who gets the big fat F? It could be
fail.
It could
we
be
talked about it a little bit.
It could be someone who didn't make a move, or it could be someone who moved someone very special and got nothing for it. Who is it? Who gets the fail?
We did talk about it a little bit already, but I gotta give it to Buffalo, man.
Yeah.
like if you had the opportunity, like I feel like if a first round pick was ever involved, that should have been taken right off the bat. And if what was reported by Friedman was correct, like, man, that's a fail. Like, you could, like, that team is
Kevin fucked up.
He fucked up hard, man. And like that team's in the dumps. Like, they do need a complete culture change.
You're hearing a lot about it too. It's funny because like across, like, it's dominating like TSN and Sportsnet pages, like how crappy the Sabres are. Usually, like, I don't know, the team has to be pretty bad for it to be like front and center of being like, oh, they're still bad. They're still bad. And they're being like memes about it and stuff like that. So like,
just to like touch on that, just an example. So Colorado acquired Jonas Johansen from Buffalo because they needed a backup because their backup at the moment were just AHL guys not cutting it. And like Buffalo guys, like the reporters were saying, they were he was one of the worst goalies ever seen. He doesn't even make saves in practice. And in his first game or 2 games he played, he looked like really rough. Like he
had a shutout.
Really, not his first game and stuff like that. But he looked really rough. He let some shaky goals in, and then after like working with the coaching staff and Colorado's goalie coaching staff and stuff like that, he played back-to-back games against Anaheim and only let in 1 goal and looked solid and steady. And it's just like I think everything from coaching to management all the way down through is completely.
It's probably their whole coaching just needs to be wiped.
Yeah,
I call it the Buffalo effect. Like that's actually a thing, and it's been that way for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like players will play in Buffalo. Like the best example is Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly's career was just shrinking and falling. Like it was going down the toilet.
Yeah.
He gets traded to St. Louis. They win a cup.
Yeah.
Like, right before that happened, he was saying, I lost my love for hockey.
He wins the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
He wins the Conn Smythe in that run.
He was
so,
unstoppable.
I mean, he completely rebound. Like, I don't know what it is with Buffalo, but it literally sucks the life out of players.
Crazy. It's, I mean, certain markets can do that. It depends on a billion different things. Like Fred said, coaching could be shitty, unenthusiastic fan base. But again, the fan base is unenthusiastic because your team stinks. Anyway.
That fan base is passionate. Like they're mad. It's like the Buffalo Bills.
They're not Islander fans, at least, so it's okay.
Yeah, but I think from a management perspective, they made the wrong choice. Like the Pagulas hired their guy, Kevin Adams, didn't surround him with anyone that had experience. He was a new GM and just put him in a role to like, here, now figure it out. And then they fired half their coaching or their scouting staff.
Right.
So they're like, figure it out, but
who's
you're gonna have no
scouting?
scouts.
Who's out there scouting for that team right now?
And what is he supposed to do? Try to rebuild a team with no scouts?
Yeah.
Like it's a gong show. Like the best situation for them would have been to hire a veteran GM. Like bring in a Brian Burke. Like Pittsburgh just did it. Bring in a Brian Burke. Like someone he might cool hair, the helmet. Lord Helmet. Lord Helmet. But like, maybe he's not the best. Like Brian Burke's a pretty good GM. He's built a lot of great teams, but he has experience. Like he would have been excellent in a role like that, right?
So the very last question I have to field on the NHL trade deadline is to Mitch, and I mean, you could put Jack Eichel in here as well, but what's a trade that you thought would have happened but did not?
Trade that I thought would happen but did not.
Who do you think was going to get moved? Who was like a big juicy trade bait and nothing came of it? Or who did you think was going to make a move and didn't?
I'm trying to think now who I thought, because there was a name, and I'm trying to think because I keep going back to the NBA draft when there was Lowry's name was there, but I'm staying put. Yeah, and I'm trying to like make that comparison now. And who was it? Josh, you look like you got someone in your mind.
I got two juicy ones, and again, they're from Elliot Friedman. So I'm shamelessly plugging their podcast right now.
Shout out to
31
Elliot.
Thoughts. 31 Thoughts. Like Elliot Friedman is like the hockey insider right now.
Yeah.
Bob McKenzie stepped away.
Yeah,
like, it's Elliot.
So it's like a protege. His protege.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's so the two
Wait, he's Sportsnet though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
They're
but
all,
it's kind of like a passing of the torch kind of thing.
Right.
Though.
Yeah.
So
anyways, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
it's crazy. So there's two right down to the deadline. He dropped just a little, a bone to everybody just to throw it out there right before the deadline. He's like kind of hinted at the fact that Ryan Getzlaf may be moved.
Right.
So that was one that was pretty cool. It was like, okay, like where is this coming from? Ryan Getzlaf, the captain of the Ducks, like that would be huge.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you, Fred. I was like, man, that was something that I could totally see, like Marc Bergevin just kind of doing, because he's weaponizing, like
just
Marc
sneaky
Bergevin,
grab him.
yeah, Marc Bergevin's going all in as well. Like there's like Toronto going all in, and then he's like, I'm doing it. Like it's like the freaking Cold War between the two until they meet in the playoffs.
But he's
right?
different. He knows that he's going to get fired soon, so he's like, I had to do something.
Well, but this leads me to my second one. The second one that was brought up was a juicy little one regarding Tony DeAngelo, and apparently Tony DeAngelo, the Rangers were going to do a mutual termination of his contract with the offer from the Montreal Canadiens to pretty much balance out that loss of money. So they would have signed him at like whatever he was going to lose from the mutual termination. So that was something that was pretty funky too. I was like, you feel like
was something
they didn't want to touch Tony DeAngelo at all.
There
but
was
then once
something.
he came, that one, like, sorry, Mitch, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Say there was something though with that deal though that Tony DeAngelo shot that down because he would have lost. He actually would have lost some money if they did that.
That's what Friedman said. He was going to lose money because of the termination.
Yeah.
But his inkling was the difference was going to be paid like from Montreal. You know what I mean? Like they were going to make it near, like it was going to be close to what he was going to miss out.
Yeah.
But he still said no, which I think is a good thing for Montreal.
Which is stupid because he could have saved his career if he would have just said, okay, I'll bite the bullet and then I'll redeem myself. And then I'll be like, all right, I fucked up. You could have told everyone that you messed up. And then you could have went on with your life.
Yeah. If I'm Montreal, I want nothing to do with Tony DeAngelo, man.
No. God, no.
No, of course. But you got to do whatever it takes, man. That guy is just, he's going to bury himself anyway.
Yeah, he is too.
So
they think they're going to get better offers in the summer.
Yeah.
So.
To close out the NHL trade deadline talk, let's just get super quick grades. Give it a letter grade of excitement.
B plus B.
Oh, you mean
B?
in general the entire thing?
Yes.
Oh, I give it like a D minus.
Yeah.
D minus.
So for years
there was no excitement, guys. There's no blockbuster trades. It was.
It's been plummeting, and now like every year, like the blockbusters tend to happen in advance
before the deadline ever
Right.
happened. Yeah.
Right.
It's like 4 days before.
Yeah.
So I feel like
True.
the NHL is going to try to fix that somehow. I hopefully soon. Or
Right.
make the deadline just more of like a spectacle. But
But I guess like media was so like they attached themselves so intimately with that deadline. So media made it a thing, really, because like, I mean, people went down to the wire, sure, but like TSN made whole entire programs, like day long programs of trade deadlines and stuff like that.
Because for the last 20 years, it's been like that.
Yeah, and I guess
Like,
that's when the deals
before,
happened, because
like,
that's when they
it used
field
to-
the offers up until that point. They're like, all right, okay, what's the best deal we got? Pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do we got? A D? Let's go with a D.
You give him a D?
I give it a D.
I'm pretty close, but I give Toronto an A+.
Well, I knew you were going to throw that in there. I'd give him an A+.
If we're doing trade deadline day grade, like a D is fine. Overall, I'll probably bump it up to like a maybe a B minus.
Okay.
But if we're going deadline day, it's C territory.
Oh, okay. You're talking about
D
the
territory.
whole
as a
moving
fun-
of players. Like,
Yeah.
As a fun little final exercise before that, based on your team though, like what would you grade Mitch? Like
Bergevin?
I was gonna ask you too. Like I was gonna say, like Mitch, what do you grade like the Colorado Avalanche?
I'll give Joe Sakic like a B plus, an A.
Yeah.
He got a depth a defenseman that is reliable and knows the system already, which we needed.
Yeah.
And he got a reliable backup goalie who does have proven tendencies and stuff like that, which we needed, and is working out even more now because Grubauer just got put on the COVID list. So, I mean, that's definitely huge. And he also picked up another guy, a good depth center in Carl Soderberg, who's also familiar with it and a good depth guy. So he made the proper move. So I give him
Joe
Props.
Sakic's up there, man. Like, and this just reminded me like another podcast that I listened to recently. It's an athletic podcast where a research analyst by the name of Rachel Dory. I don't know if you know who she is. She's been involved in the NHL, but she made a comment that actually made me laugh, and it was regarding Joe Sakic, saying like, you know, and then also kind of taking a jab at the Vancouver Canucks, saying like Steve Yzerman and Joe Sakic are over here playing 5D chess,
Yeah.
while Jim Benning is gluing macaronis to like parchment paper. You know what I mean? Like, or to construction paper.
Yeah.
Just like, because he's just like doing whatever and signing people to ridiculous contracts and stuff.
Glue and macaronis. Good stuff.
Macaronis to construction paper. And I just cried laughing because it's so true, man. Like Joe Sakic has been solid for the Colorado Avalanche, man.
Yeah.
So we got
That's
B+
insane.
for the Avs, A+ for the Leafs. What are you gonna end it off with there, Fred, for your boys?
I'll give Berge a solid C. Like he got depth defensemen. Obviously, there's injuries, especially with the older D-men. You got to be careful. Like, yeah, Petrie's been fantastic, but he's getting slower. And if he goes down, okay, you need a puck moving defenseman. But then again, they let Mete go because just wasn't working out. So they got Merrill, and then they got Eric Gustafsson, and he had some playoff experience. So he went the defensive route instead of the offensive route. He still thinks that somehow the Habs offense is going to just one day click, which it won't. But you're hoping for all four lines to work with Montreal. That's the way they are.
Right.
There's no superstar. Gallagher's injured, and I think he's the superstar of the team.
Yeah. He's prepping for
and he's
playoff
gone.
hockey.
Yeah.
He's prepping for it to be dirty. Like I'm
one
worried.
thing though, Fred, that especially like Pierre LeBrun was giving Bergeron props for not making the move is that it leaves open the possibility and room to get Caulfield up when they need him.
That could be your guy.
And that's the thing there, because if they add forward there, it probably clogs the system up and it makes it harder getting Cole Caulfield called up. And I
100%.
I think he's leaving that option there. If Cole Caulfield looks as good as he has so far in the AHL and they need it, he is there and as an option to get him into the lineup.
Come on, the guy got 2 game-winning goals in his first 2 games as a pro athlete. Come on, that's fucking
He's coming
awesome.
up. He's coming up.
I think we'll see him in the playoffs, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think you'll see him before the end of the season.
Yeah, and that's at least give him a look and see what you got there for sure.
Love the little sharpshooter. I fucking love that guy.
All right, let's move to the next segment of the show. It's definitely a favorite of mine. This time we're moving away from the big leagues. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that at all. The Big Four, I should say. We're going to the WNBA. They just introduced new kits for their 25th year anniversary and got some interesting stuff in there. So let's bring it to...
Is it nasty? Or is it nice?
We got the nasty or nice segment this
Alex,
week.
is that your voice on that?
That's me, yeah.
That's excellent.
That is
I love the subtle accent. That's what I like about it.
Thank you.
Nice.
So yeah, how many teams we got in total here? We got 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4.
12, right? 12?
No,
there's more
than that.
With
Anyways,
3
the
kits
picture.
per,
24.
isn't it?
24.
Yeah, 24 total.
24?
24 total
Sorry, my
kits.
bad.
I gotta say, there are some great jerseys, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
some really cool
Yeah.
shit here. They really experimented, which is what I like about this. It's like, see, especially with like the earned jerseys that we were looking at the NBA earlier. I think that might have been the first nasty or nice segment. It's like some of it was just like so basic, and most of the times we were just like looking at the jerseys, being like, "Don't they have one like this? Like, don't they have one exactly like this?" Anyways, there's a lot of different stuff floating around here. Mitch, what is your nice for the WNBA jerseys?
So, now, wait, am I looking at the right? Yes, I am. So, my nice is, now hopefully, because I ended up going through a different article, so I hope I'm looking at the right lineup here.
Yep.
But it's, and this might be nasty for some people, but for some reason I just dig it. It's so aggressive. Is the Indiana Fevers.
Indiana Fever. So let's see. Indiana Fever.
Oh, that's the one that looks like Stranger Things.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's like it was like blood splatter and Stranger Things kind of deal.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I did see this.
I saw that going around, and that might have been a lot of people's actual favorite. It's really wacky, but that was on a lot of people's like top. They were like, "Wow, this jersey's really cool." It's so wacky, man.
It is. I
cool.
kind of like the blood splatter design.
Yeah.
It's just you just gotta come out as a team with like menacing like death like emotionless looks. And it's just like
Zombies.
I'm going to add your blood to this jersey.
It's a whole team of psychopaths.
Yeah.
I think it might have been purposely themed for Stranger Things.
The font is extremely Stranger Thingsy.
Yeah. So isn't it literally just like it's like blood splatter? It's
Kinda, yeah. Like it's like a cover, like a paint splatter, blood splatter kind of thing. It's like red, dark rib. I thought it was just such a cool, unique jersey.
So that's your nice. Fred, what's your nice?
So mine, I have it open here. Okay, I want more of these. I want like I have two, but the other one I'm biased about. But anyways, this one I fucking love, and it's the. Look at this. Look at this pink with the stripe. I love it.
That was a really unique one.
I think that's their Rebel jersey, if I remember correctly.
So is that the?
This is the
Phoenix Mercury? Is that what that is?
No, I don't think so. That's the
that is the Washington Mystics.
The Washington Mystics, yeah.
The Nike. That's their Rebel edition, like just
The
like
Rebel
the
one.
Indiana one I brought up.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's I like
I'm
it.
totally digging like the whole like the pink and then down the side there. It looks really really tight. It looks good. But I love this one too because the reasoning for it. So look at that.
Oh yeah,
look how bad and it's based off of the because I'm a military boy, and this is based off of the military aircraft.
That's the Dallas
for
Wings.
The women for the women in the Air Force. Look at that.
That's pretty cool,
How
man.
sick.
Yeah.
Look at the badass. That's so cool. The Dallas Wings, solid.
What do you got for your nice, Josh?
All right, I'm just trying to pull up the photo of it, but man, I think I like the Chicago Sky one.
Oh yeah, that's like
The pinstripe. First of all, the nice pinstripe, but then they have the sky that's just like it looks like like the blue one.
Yeah.
The baby blue. So let me see if I can zoom this in.
now the Chicago
There's the
Sky
Chicago
one.
pinstripes.
Is it? Yeah, it's like the one that's like
It's
kind of
based
like
off of
ice.
the buildings, right?
Is it the
that's
one that
one
has
of
like one that I'm looking at has like the kind of like cracked ice snowflake.
That's
kinda
the Chi-Town one.
Yeah.
That's a terrible.
That's funny. That's my nasty.
That's my nasty too.
That's your nasty?
That's my nasty.
But that's the thing. That's the third one, right? Because I like
Rebel?
I like the pinstripe
Right,
the
I know
pinstripe
what
one
you're
is the
talking
one
about, Josh.
yeah.
jerseys. I love like it's the three jerseys for it. I love the new pinstripe one, and then the white pinstripes. Man, this is not doing it any justice.
I
know,
think
But it looks.
yeah, I think it's a shout out to the Cubs, the blue pinstripes. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like that one too. It's nice. My nice is and this might like Mitch was saying, this might be people's nasty, but I really like the New York Liberty one.
Which one? The aqua colored one?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah,
Liberty.
I thought that one was really nice. Like and it has some really cool like trim on it as well, but the colors, it really reminded me of like Vancouver Grizzlies kind of thing. So I was a big fan
I
of
like that too. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Trying to find it here now.
Yeah, it's like teal.
Oh yes, yeah, those are nice colors.
Yeah,
That's even
nice.
worse. It looks even worse with the full kit, Josh.
See, but I like the pinstripe.
Right, that's not bad. That's a very for some reason reminds me of the Orlando Magic.
Oh my god, I was thinking the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just like the old Magic. I picture Shaq wearing that.
Yeah, Shaq, Penny Hardaway. So let's go to the nasty. So Mitch, your nasty is the
Me and Fred's.
yeah,
we
is
got
the
the same
Chicago one. That like
Chi
big
Town.
snowflake
It
one.
says Chi Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that one.
But you
Look,
never
I
heard
understand.
Chi-Town before?
I've heard Chi Town before,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Oh, I fucking hate nicknames on jerseys. I think it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so you don't
No,
like the Houston H-Town jerseys?
Like it's just weird.
You don't
Yeah.
like Milwaukee's Cream City jerseys?
Cream
That
City.
is the fucking dumbest one. For on
Cream
so
City.
many reasons. For so many reasons. I
Uh,
have it irks me a little bit when I think of, like, because they've cemented their name now as such a good team, I don't really think about it. But when you think about the fact that there's no such town or city called Golden State,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
weird.
My name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Welcome to Cream City.
And he just flew just over here.
Cream City.
Welcome to Cream City.
I just, as a quick aside, I just want to point out my hilarious beer name.
Yeah,
Fred,
go
you're
for it.
familiar with this one?
Oh yeah.
It's called Zane Lost His Avocado Bag.
Beautiful.
Fuck.
Put that on a
Very-
jersey.
Is it avocado
Yeah,
flavored?
make an avocado jersey.
Is it avocado flavored?
No.
Go on.
No.
It's beer flavored.
I hate
So-
avocado.
My nasty. Wait, no.
Avocado tastes like nothing.
So Fred, your nasty was the same as
Oh,
Mitch's, right?
so okay, it is this one, and I want to
Yeah.
read out
Okay.
why they chose this because I
Okay.
understand. It's like it's a shattering new look for Chicago, breaking through glass ceilings and pushing the boundaries and continuing to make strides towards greater things. I'm like, so riots?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? I was like, what is your
You son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
get
It's
it?
it's
man?
a bit
I'm like,
weird.
ah.
It's a bit of a
It's
weird,
a weird, I don't-
ignorant move by the
Chi-town.
marketing team, I guess. Design team.
and
It's
guys, it just looks bad. Come on.
well, like
It's
that
not
looks
cool.
that's like it's not great. But then Josh showed the full kit with the shorts, and that's even worse.
There's better metaphors for progress than broken glass, I think.
yeah.
So, yeah. Which Josh, what's your nasty?
I don't know. It's just the plain old Vegas Aces one.
And
Big
it,
space.
perfect because that is mine. I find
Yeah.
I find the placement
It is
of
very
their
fun.
It's weirdly weird, man. It's
the
just
placement of the aces. It's like a vertical aces word, and then the number to the right of
And-
it. It's weird.
Yeah. And honestly, vertical letters never look good. Like it just doesn't ever look good. Like trying to go down.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, let's look at that.
I guess it kind of
Shit.
reminds me of a soccer jersey, just because of like not straight across, but like more one thing on left, one thing on right. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a sponsorship, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like soccer jerseys are all about sponsorships.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Can't say.
Well,
I'm a
and
fan
and
of
it's
that.
always like your crest. Like in soccer, in a lot of other sports, like the crest is bigger. In
Yeah.
Soccer, it's literally just right here.
Yeah.
And then everything else is sponsorships. So
Yep. But overall, I had a lot of fun looking through them, and I thought there was a lot of cool stuff there. Like I probably could have chose like a handful of nice ones, to be honest.
Absolutely. I think every team pretty much has a nice jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I like how they just got really creative and really wacky with a lot of them.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the last segment of the show.
Hey, bro! Hey! I like to give and go.
Answer the question.
Freak out, yo!
So this is the pick or roll,
question, Steven.
where we talk about some secondary topics that we didn't get to, and I will read them off and just interrupt me when you want to talk about a topic. But I think I might interrupt myself right away when reading off the first one. Kawhi Leonard was seen cracking up laughing with Paul George on the bench.
Okay, I
thought it was a lie until I
didn't
saw
see
it.
this. I didn't see this.
I cried.
So it's real. Kawhi Leonard actually does laugh, and he actually does
Has
smile.
emotions.
He had emotions.
And the best part is
What it do, baby?
Clippers teammate Amir Coffey was on a fast breakaway with the ball when he slipped and fell. That's what Kawhi was laughing at. His teammate falling.
Kawhi's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole.
Or
He's
just
a
like-
legend.
or just like he enjoys the simple things in life.
Yeah, just,
Like comedy of just like people falling. Like it's like America's Funniest Home Videos.
just pure
Man.
slapstick. I could totally see Kawhi just
Man,
flicking
get
on some America's Funniest Home
Destroyed by a
Videos.
football.
Yeah, he goes home at night and he just puts on his recorded PVR America's Funniest Home Videos. And it's
Awesome.
just-
Awesome.
I could definitely see him being
I can
a
totally
guy.
see that. Yeah. But it's like
Oh.
old tapes.
Yeah, was it Tom Bergeron or whatever back in the day?
Yeah.
Bergeron.
I do remember the classic AFE though. Yeah.
Pushing in the old tape.
Oh, I could totally see
Oh,
that.
I love it.
Next up, we got Hideki Matsuyama wins the 2021 Masters. Honestly, I want to interrupt myself again. He's the first Japanese male player to win a major title, which is pretty cool. Finished
That's
with a final score of 10 under. And it's funny if you just compare it to last year. Last year was such an anomaly because it wasn't really last year because it was a Masters in October or November, one of those.
October, I think.
And Dustin Johnson shot 20 under, the lowest Masters
Oh,
score
wow.
ever. So, but yeah, really cool. I didn't get to
it's
watch
fu-
much this year, which
It
kind of
was-
sucks.
so-
but,
Did you guys watch the end? Like
No.
when they actually put the jack, it was the most awkward thing ever.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
obviously,
he can't speak
because
English.
obviously he needed a translator, so
Yeah.
the whole moment, like he was just like frozen.
I thought it was
It's
so
like-
weird. I thought it was so weird
awkward.
because his translator was an old white man.
I know, right? I was
Yeah.
like, man, this is odd. This
And he
is
was
weird."
speaking Japanese. Like I thought that was so weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
He was
Congrats.
he lied about his credentials. He was making it
Yeah.
up as he goes.
You just not saying
It is
anything.
funny how we were talking about like Augusta and Georgia being all like, changing their legislation to be more racist. It's just like put in the old white man and get him to make shit up.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I was laughing at the overdrive guys. So like I don't watch a lot of golf,
Mhm.
but they were they had a lot to say about it. They said like even this year, like his excellent win aside, they're like, man, it's just one of those ones where it just wasn't an exciting
No,
Masters.
he was leading
Like,
for
at
a
all.
long time. For 3
And he
days,
just-
I think he was leading.
Yeah.
And by
Yeah,
the end of it, it was like no one was like making a big comeback or anything, and he was just still playing solid. So
Yeah.
it was just like they just the time ran out on the clock essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it ran down, so
He shot, his totals were 3 eagles, 13 birdies, 47 pars, 9 bogeys. Never shot more than a bogey, 47 pars. So he played just consistent.
Yeah,
the
it's
it's
whole
just
time.
solid, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, played a really good tournament.
Mhm.
I didn't get to watch, like I said, I didn't get to watch nearly as much as I wanted to this year.
I need to
but
start watching more. I think I'm gonna start watching more
It
Masters.
was-
It's not like the
It was
Masters.
fun.
Masters is awesome. It's fantastic. So relaxing too. Except this year, there was a lot of memes about it. The birds were really loud on the broadcast, and they were saying like the birds on the Masters mic, and it had like the headsets on. It was just a bird. It was really stupid. But they were super loud.
Were they chirping
Chirping.
competitors?
Yeah.
All right, bye. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Get the hell out.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Alex Rodriguez purchases the T-Wolves. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah.
I have not.
One thing I'm gonna just pick up every one of these topics. One thing I found funny about this was Anthony Edwards, the star rookie of the T-Wolves, was asked about this. He was like, "What do you think about A-Rod?" Anyways, I have the clip isolated, so I'll just play it for you guys. So it's a little bit weird to hear on Anthony Edwards' mic, but let's give it a roll.
Do you have any thoughts about him? Are you an A-Rod fan at all growing up or anything like that? What do you think about what he might bring to the team?
A fan? What you mean? Like, who is he?
The baseball player, Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, nah, I don't know. What it is.
Okay.
I know he's gonna be the owner, but I don't know nothing about baseball.
That's okay. Okay, so I lied. I did hear that. And I died laughing.
And he's so great.
man.
Like I love him. He's such a media guy. Like he plays to the crowd a lot, and like he's very candid, which I love that. I love seeing that in players. Just like he's like just straight up honest. It's like, nah, I don't know who that is. It's
I
like,
don't
is it
know
a
nothing about
legend?
baseball.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about baseball. It's like, I know he's gonna own it, but I don't know
Yeah.
anything about baseball. And in the same thing, I just wanted to bring up this last thing. This is kind of like a catch-up topic too. It's to do with Anthony Edwards. This is him hearing a reporter. This is like early-ish on in the season, so take a listen to this.
If you get a win tonight, that will breed confidence going into those next 4 games against teams in the similar spots beside you in the table.
Where you from, Jim?
Ireland.
I like your accent. It's tough.
Oh.
I want to learn how to talk like that. But ask your question again. I was too much listening to.
So, I love it. The best part about that is like, he was like, I like your accent. It's tough.
Imagine he comes out, he's just his next interview is he just starts trying to speak Irish with an Irish accent.
Who's this Alex Rodriguez fella?
Give me your belt.
Carl Anthony Towns, get off me team.
Dribble the ball. Dribble the ball.
Give it a dribble. What do we got left on the pick and roll for this week? I think that might clue it up. Oh yeah, Michael Jordan will present Kobe Bryant in the 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame induction ceremony on May 15th. So thought that was cool. It's gonna be cool to see MJ talk about him. He's not a very public dude, so it's always cool to see him. That's why everyone like died for The Last Dance. Everyone wants to listen when MJ
He's
talks.
gonna cry when he does the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty emotional when he
True.
talked at the
funeral,
his funeral and his
man.
memorial service, and that was a side of Michael Jordan you never see either. So
No.
it was so rare to see that.
I love that too, and he made light of it. I think when he started crying, he was like, "Now I'm gonna be a meme all over again." He made sure to mention that.
I love that. I love it.
The crying meme, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be good to watch. It's gonna be super bummer, but yeah. And the very last thing, we'll end off the podcast. Luka Doncic hit a game winner leaning over the 3-point line. Did you guys see that?
No, missed that.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah. Every other night, him and Dame Lillard just pull off something insane. But I guess we'll close down the podcast there for this week. It's been a good one. It's been a real hockey heavy one. Got some lot of good hockey talk in this podcast. So So we'll clue it up, and really appreciate you guys listening. Make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify. Send us a tweet at the Jersey Tuck. You will be featured on the podcast. Watch the content on the YouTube page and subscribe. Any closing thoughts, boys?
Go Habs, go!
See you next time. Bye-bye.